Welcome back to Regent Table Talk. Today's guest is someone very special who doesn't just inspire me but the entire college. So please welcome Chef Stev. Hi
Thank
Chef,
you.
how are you?
I'm fine. Al Samad, how are you?
I'm good, Chef.
And also thank you for this Regency Table Talks.
Before we begin your journey, how does it feel to walk through the same walls when you once study here, and but now you as a teacher, as a mentor, how does it feel?
Actually, these are not the walls which we actually studied. So our college used to be in road number 12, Banjara Hills. So that was completely a different chapter when it comes to me joining in this particular building. So I feel like it is something new for me. I never felt like that I studied in this college, because the kind of atmosphere which was created for me when I was joining as a student, when I was joining as a faculty. When I started joining as a faculty right over here, so it was completely different, because the kind of kitchen team what we had, our faculties who taught me were there, and from them whom I learned a lot to be a actual teacher.
And Chef, how did your culinary journey begins? And was there a moment when you feel like, yes, this is what I want to do in my life?
So the very first day when I thought of being a chef, I had a greater challenge of me being a chef, which my family were not accepting. And it was a very long time where I started convincing them, and that was really great that my dad didn't accepted me to become a chef. But still, me keep on trying it and showing why I was really wanted to become a chef. And then once I stepped into this college, Regency, where I started showcasing myself, and then I started growing up because of the great teachers who taught us and who made me to be strong, however I'm standing right now. So from there, it's been a beautiful journey for me, working with some of the best chefs in the city, working with some best chefs in the country. That was actually a very big pride, which me being a faculty in this college. So later on, it actually changed the complete scenario of me being a chef, me being a teacher. The very first year, I was like arrogant youngster towards students. But later on, the way I was dealing with students was changed, and I started thinking about what would be the real reason and what would be the main motto for me being a faculty. From there, the whole scenario changed. Then I started understanding what is my responsibilities to become a chef, and on the top to become a faculty chef.
Chef, if you didn't choose culinary, what would you choose instead?
If I wouldn't have chosen culinary, I always like to be a army person. So I always wanted to be in special forces, though that was the thing which was not happened in my life. So that is the reason I was here.
Chef, do you still remember what was the very first dish you have cooked, either in college or either in?
I really can recollect the day. What was the first dish I cooked in my first competition in the first year? So it was coconut rice and natukodi chicken curry, as it's my signature dish from Andhra, Bhimavaram. So I always made this as my competition, because I felt like competition is a thing which you don't need to give it a try, rather than you should cook what you know the best.
And if you could go back, and give one message to the younger Chef Stev in the first year of him, so what would be the advice for?
So the generation actually started changing a lot. It is a very great change in the students' atmosphere in the college, and me being a 90s kid, I guess it's one of the toughest thing to understand at 20s kids, because see, whenever we were in the college, it is like a faculty is the other parents what we believed as. If our faculties used to tell us to go run from here, we used to close our eyes and run because we believed in them, so that they know what is right. So now it is completely different. Rather than they can't run. First thing, they only know how to use the phones to the perfect, because that is the reason they can't run anywhere, because they were not trained like that. It was not wrong. It is not wrong from the parent side or from the student side. So, but it is like this particular hotel industry is not for the people who actually wanted to. ये बोले तो college में कोई भी join नहीं होता बाद में.
And chef, becoming a chef is not just easy.
It is not easy, but see, I'm telling you, see the truth. If people started to know about the truth, then it is very tough.
Yes, chef.
So if you wanted to it is like a second, a fight which we are trying to do. And I'll just tell you a very short story. Now, when I was a student and I thought of becoming a chef, I heard this word from my faculties. So when a kingdom falls down and lost the war, chefs are the last persons, or chefs are the end people who can actually really save the country. Because chefs know the soldiers are into the war and they know that they are going to come back to the place. So if the king runs away from there, say he will come back to the place. So the only person who can save the whole kingdoms are chefs.
Yes, chef.
So now you need to be like that particular person who is strong enough, who is commandable enough, who is having a great knowledge on how to handle your situations with a higher pressure. तो आजकल के बच्चे में वो taking that particular pressure is very tough. There are kids who can take much more pressure, because I have been seeing them. There are kids who can't really take a little pressure. That is how it is.
Becoming a chef is all about discipline, sacrifices. What were some sacrifices you have made and those people usually don't see?
Talking about sacrifice, there are legends who actually ruled this kitchen industry. Everybody started their career very slow. Everybody started their career mild enough. But when they reached their tops, they were like roaring lions in their industries. It is like they sacrifice everything in the sense, you have a party, you will enjoy cooking in the party. You go for a marriage and you come for a marriage in in the hotels. So we cook and we enjoy after you go home and sleep. You have New Year in our hotels. Our New Year starts after 4 o'clock in the morning. You have Christmas celebrating in our hotels. We celebrate after 2 o'clock in the night. So that is how the sacrifice goes on. You have your friend's birthday. You have your girlfriend's birthday. You will say, hello, hi, happy birthday. I'll see you after 2 o'clock. So that is how the actual life is. So, but after, in this, as I've been working in the academics, so I feel like I was not facing that, but I would recommend all the younger chefs who wanted to be chefs to understand why you are not celebrating it. It is not because you are chef, because that is what making you feel good. That is what you felt in the first day. So in your first day, when you saw a YouTube video and started thinking that I can be a Gordon Ramsay, because that is what the most of the videos you see. See, he is the person who started his career from a very basic stage. So he sacrificed all his festivals, all his celebrations. The reason why he is sacrificing is, he know that is what his bread and butter, end of the day. That is what is making him happy to be on that particular range, cooking for many people, giving tasty food and making them happy. So when it comes to the different contexts of understanding, sacrificing. So we don't actually sacrifice. We feel happy in serving our guests.
Yes, chef.
That is what it is very important for us. We don't sacrifice. We sacrifice for the guest who is not feeling good and wanted to have a cup of coffee in our restaurant. We feel like very happy to accommodate him, to serving him a coffee and making his day completely change. We would be very happy. We are not going to sacrifice. We are sacrificing. We wanted to sacrifice our best efforts to make our guest much more feel happy and we doing better in the industry.
And chef, if you talk about your carvings and plate presentation, they are like just an art. So where did you get the creative minds and skills and the eye detail?
So eye for detailing and as you asked me, carving and all those things. So it was not actually the thing which I thought of doing it. I never thought of doing a plate and all those things, but eventually when I started in the first year when I had the carving class, so I felt I didn't really know that I can do it. But in the very first class I did something which I followed my chef who actually started teaching me. So then I completed it. Then I understood I can do it. Then I started concentrating on it and focusing on learning it much more better. And when it comes to art was always the thing which I never did it from my childhood. Either I was not a drawing first prize drawing student in the college or in the school, but it was like a thing which I wanted to learn because I felt it is very important for my career, and which will always keep me apart from any other people who actually wanted to focus on. When it comes to ice carving or butter sculptures and all those things, when I started learning from my chefs, that was one of the best things which I had is the chefs who can actually really teach the students who are going to learn, who are willing to learn actually. So when it comes to, because of my faculties, I guess I am right now here standing or sitting very strong enough in facing whatever situations I am, or in the academics. So it is all because of my faculties who actually made me strong. So from them I started learning things and all those things. And then I had multiple people working with me. So in the means of multiple people, I actually like who actually opposes me. I actually like people who always point out to me that I am wrong. I actually like people who always criticizes me a lot, because I feel that is the actual point where I need to start working on my life. It is that is the actual point. I thought, so somebody else pointing out because you are not able to do this, then I like, cool, no problem. This might be the might be my day where I can show myself. But there will be a day. For sure I'll come back. I'll get back. So that is how I started tuning myself into the art. When it comes to plating, then I had multiple problems of understanding a composition of a plate. What is the real composition of the plate? You can't just throw a sauce on a plate and just keep some, aloo tikki.
Actually, nowadays the younger chefs struggle with while plating. They only focus on how does it looks.
That doesn't come from 1-2 years experience, I believe. So you need to have multiple years of experience in understanding what is the actual composition of a plate, and the color contrast of the ingredients what you are trying to use, and what are the textures of ingredients while we are cooking and we are plating on the food, which actually completely changes the whole composition of a plate. So that's how, that is how I always thought of doing plates. And I also go through multiple chefs throughout the world in Instagram, see their plates, but never copy the plates. So I always pick one element from the plate which I always like from that particular plate. So that's how I choose from multiple plates, multiple elements, which again I will design it from my own self and then I start plating it. I never copy any plate, I never copy any component from that plate, but I always try to observe what is new component which I never used in my earlier platings. So when it comes to creating something new, I always go through multiple things and multiple textures which can actually help me in creating something new.
Sure. Chef, in your opinion, why India is not having Michelin star restaurants as we compare to European regions?
भाई तो क्या क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा मालूम है?
इसके क्वेश्चन यही थे शायद.
Why we are not having a Michelin star restaurant?
स्किप कर देंगे, बहुत लंबी स्टोरी है.
स्किप तो कर सकते हैं, बट दिस इज अ वेरी बिग स्टोरी. बहुत लंबा स्टोरी है इसको. आई कांट यू नो you will have controversies, lot of controversies here.
Chef, what is your favorite region, cuisine, and why?
So this was the thing I always I am still thinking what is my favorite. I am very sorry that I still in my life I don't have any favorites, favorite dish, favorite things which I like the most. I'm sorry, I don't have anything.
And Chef, now that you teach at the same college where once you studied, so what does teaching taught you about yourself?
Teaching taught me how to be a great human being. Not having multiple options on students and accepting what they are and trying to build and trying to teach what is the hardship of being a chef. So for me, most of the student knows that I'll always be tough, I'll always be shouting on you, I'll always be, there is a particular reason behind it which I always believe in you. I'll tell you a very small thing. So if you act, for you, if it is very easy, I guess for you it is very easy for you all, if your brother or sister is just doing some mistakes, and I guess you will leave them alone. तुम कुछ भी नहीं बोलेंगे शायद, नहीं उन लोगों को ये बोलेंगे कि भाई तू खराब कर रहा और खराब करके बोलेंगे शायद. But for me it is like I can't see if somebody is going wrong, I can't see somebody is doing wrong. I will correct them no matter what happens or no matter what is going to come on my face. I am ready to face it. If something is wrong, I would be the first person to point out you, to shout on you. So that is what is my kind of approach. If it is wrong, it is wrong. That's it. If it is correct, then I'll say it is okay. But if it is wrong, I'll shout on your face that it is wrong. Because it is my responsibility. I feel it is a greater responsibility after your parents what we are trying to do it. So that is reason I always be little stingy, be little strong, irritating to you all, but that is why I am very happy, because I am not cheating you. I am not taking your presence to a wrong dimension, and I am not doing anything wrong. I am doing my work perfectly. You don't like it, you like it, it is none of my business, because I am not losing anything out of it. But only my agenda is, my teachers taught me how to be a great human being, good human being, even if you have a very bad situations in your life. So that is what I wanted to teach my students. They are accepting me, they are not accepting me, it is none of my business. And I am absolutely not interested in students who really like me. If somebody is really liking me, so then for me it is like to show him much more hardship. If somebody says, Chef, I really like you, that means I'm going to screw his happiness very badly, because he believed me that somehow he liked me. The reason why he likes me, or the reason why he is accepting me, or the reason why he tells me, Chef, I like you, is because of my work, or because of my character, what I am showing it in the particular college. So how can I leave him if somebody is saying, sir, you are good, and I should say him, go and die? So I can't say it.
Yes, sir.
So that is the reason I never ever get onto my things. Even if I have multiple complaints on me, I am ready to face it. And I faced it, and I am very happy because whatever I am doing is right. People accepting it, not accepting is.
Chef, during your college time also, was there some fun faculty who will be very strict at that time?
All the faculties were strict. You don't know it. I'll tell you. Principal sir, if he started on the first floor, ऊपर third floor set हो जाता था. Just he coming out of the kitchen, principal's cabin.
Yes, sir.
Third floor में पता चलता था principal बाहर आया करके.
तो आपको punishment
तो वही so they were all strong. That was their kind of a teaching. That is the reason we are here. If I am not accepting it, who is having that loss? I am having that loss. He is not having a loss. No. Principal sir will have any losses? No, absolutely not. If I am not accepting him because he start teaching me how to be good, that is absolutely my problem. So I had all my teachers or all my faculties who were actually made me much more tough than what I believed myself. I never thought, even my parents always say me that, you say nana, you say amma to, a beta karke bolke, you will give them a hard time. That is my way of approach. That is how it is. So that is how, they are all the people who actually, made me much more tough. And I always believe in it, and whoever my faculties or teachers who from the LKG, I can sincerely say this one thing to all the teachers and all the faculties. For me, thank you so much. I don't know how can I actually fulfill that place, but yes, I say a great thank you. Because of them, like this, we had sticks breaking in our hands. सच में भाई, बचपन कॉलेज में 10th क्लास में ना ऐसा स्टिक ऐसा मार दे कि स्टिक्स फूट जाता था हाथ में. Not one stick, अगर फूट गया तो भाग के लेके दूसरा लेके आता था फैकल्टी. But see, that is what actually the important reason why the greater difference between the present generations and our generation. That is how it is. Because we accepted it, that is the reason we were strong, that is the reason we were compatible, competing with many people. We don't give up easily. We will try till we die. That is the ultimate thing what our teachers taught. Nowadays kids, it is very easy. If he doesn't like this, yes, he can change his mind anytime. Yes. But for our generation, it was not like that. They used to teach us what is good, what is bad, how it is all, and all those things. Not only teachers, but my parents were also like that. So that was one of the other reasons why, for my parents, I am one of the most typical kid. For them to bear me all these years.
Do you got any punishment, chef, you still remember? Because nowadays students getting punishment like write a letter and write 100 times, 100, 200 times, that's it.
So हमारे को भी मिला था. We also got 100 times, 200 times, but it is not hundreds. We used to get thousands. So 1,000 times, 2,000 times, we used to get it. Punishments are like one of the greatest punishments which always taught us why you are getting punished, and we used to understand why you are doing wrong and you will get punished.
Yes, sure.
So this is what it is. So if you're not, so we used to understand what was our stand, why we were punished, and we used to understand our faculties. So why that is you did wrong, so you need to correct yourself. So nowadays, I guess this kind of an acceptance is very less.
So what is your real motivation for being a chef?
Oh, my real motivation of being a chef is my ultimate goal is to have this chef coat on my body, well, when it comes for me to leave this world, I wanted to have my chef coat on my body and leave this in this world. So the motivation is always about me, how I am growing in this industry, what I am learning every single day. Even if it is from our principal sir, or else the student who doesn't come once in a week. If he is telling something on the food, I would really like to accept it, because I believe in every 50 meters in this world, in this roads, your cuisine changes, your type of food changes, your taste changes. So there might be something which I might be not knowing. So I try to accept, I try to learn every single day. So that is the one which actually makes me or keeps me going on in my future.
Have you ever been exhausted by being a chef?
Exhausted?
As we know, one of the hardest time was your industrial training.
Industrial training, I don't say it is exhausted, but see, yes, we worked for 36 hours without a break, but you people didn't have that. You are not so lucky to have those kind of work. I feel like I'm very lucky to have those kind of work. No, still we are say, भाई हम इतना घंटे काम कर रहे थे तो वो तुम लोगों से नहीं हो पाया बस. So that is the reason we always believe in that. You can't do it. We did it. So it is like that. So it is not a hardship, or it is not a giving up thing. Yes, many times I felt like giving up, but every single day, the kind of atmosphere what we actually lived in on those days, it is completely different. And you being a budding chef, accepting, learning things is one of the most important things. Giving up things is very easy, but if you stand a little, you will have success. You need to stand a little to have a greater success. That is what I always tell for everybody who is even going for jobs. I always tell them, stay for some time, you will have future. That is very important. That is what I believe.
Yes, chef. And chef, out of all the batches or semesters we have taught, so was there a moment, was something very special to you?
Special in the sense, for the very first time in my career, I taught 2020-24 first years. So
that was the first batch of BCTC.
That not the first batch of BCTC. That is the third batch of BCTC. Third batch of BCTC. You are the second batch, I guess.
Yes, chef.
Third batch of BCTC. Prashant is third batch.
Yes, chef. Yes,
Prashant was third batch. Third batch of BCTC. So that was the first time I taught first years. So that was really helped me to understand what is mentality of a budding chef nowadays. So yes, that was actually those days were really, I liked it because it was very new. People are new, and turning them into chefs is one of the greatest responsibility on my shoulders. And people who don't know what is kitchen, seeing Gordon Ramsay's videos and coming down into the kitchens, feel like they can cook everything. See all the ETV abruchis and all those things. It is very easy for cooking. When it starts to cooking, then they understood what is actually important, and they started listening. And then I never did such a homework. I always used to do homework when I used to go for this first years, especially. So that was little special for me.
Chef, what do you hope your students should feel about when they think about Chef Steve in future?
In future, I guess you will all remind me, or our students will think me, when you have a great booze drink, or else you met each other when you are friends, तुम यही सोचेंगे भाई वो जो बंदा था बहुत घटिया था. So that is what you think, but I believe some days you might understand what my intentions were. If it is okay for a student to not accept me, absolutely.
So, but most of the students are fan. You have a very good fan following in our college.
Fan following. When you talking about fan following, मेरे को एक question याद आया था. So you have all these things called passion करके एक passion करके एक गाड़ी है, मालूम है तुम्हें? I don't know. You have all this word called passion. This is one of the most beautiful word in the English which you don't know the meaning of the word. Passion comes from sacrifice, which you will not ready to do. Passion comes from struggling for something which you wanted to do, which you are not ready to do. Passion comes from giving up things which you really like. You can't give up on the things which you like. Something like you wanted to go after 5, which I don't want to let you go home. You wanted to come without writing records and get into my kitchen and have fun, which I will not allow. So these are the things which you need to actually understand when it comes to making somebody favorite. Favorite is just a word, but following that favorite's things are really tough. See, I believe so when it comes to me, my favorites are my faculties are there. When I started copying them, I felt like it is not me. So I should not copy them, rather than I should walk on the paths what they are trying to walk and how they are trying to walk and what was that particular thing which was good.
Yes, sir. This career is both mentally and physically tough. So what was the hardest moment you have gone through?
The hardest moment which I gone through is I faced things which I don't wanted to face in my particular career, that I wanted to have a quick money. I wanted to have a quick very fast growth in my life, which everybody dreams of it, but eventually you will not get it when it comes to the word called passion, as I told you. So the toughest things which I faced in my career is to stand strong even you have multiple people questioning you, pointing out you, telling that you are a bacha, you need to learn a lot, and I accepted it. And then I feel those are the days which actually made me tougher enough. For the very first job which I did, there are some things which people told, which I really took it into my heart, which I shouldn't do, I believe. But the moment I took it into my heart and then I started working on my career very badly, that this is not the way I'm going to say, this is not, but still I wanted to become a chef. So then I started turning up myself, understanding the situations, and then changing my situations according to the needs of me being a chef. So that's how it is.
Chef, have you done any mistake that you want us to not repeat that mistake that you have done in your past?
Mistake?
Yes.
I didn't believe in myself. That was the biggest mistake I did.
After college?
After college, of course, yes. I didn't believe myself that I can be great, that I can be good, which always kept me down. But you don't do it. You believe in yourself, love yourself, very most important thing. And then if you love your own self, then you'll understand why people should love you. Automatically your future falls into your hands. If you don't believe it, and if you don't love yourself, I believe it is actually the biggest mistake. So if you don't believe your own self, why others should believe you? If you don't love your own self, why other people should love you? It's my actual go. So that is the reason you need to believe yourself. No matter what happens in this world, if you don't believe your own self, nobody else will believe.
Yes, sir.
For sure it is.
Chef, you've given us so much insights and wisdom.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Chef, you have given us so much insights and wisdom. We were all inspired. So let's have some fun game.
Fun game?
A little game where I will give you some sentences. Then you have to tell it is a myth or a truth regarding the. It will be the kitchen edition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first one is chefs don't sleep at all. It's a truth or myth?
Truth?
Fancy plating matters more than taste.
Sometimes it's a myth, sometimes the truth.
And chefs shout in the kitchen because it's a part of culture. Myth or truth?
Truth?
You have to burn yourself at least once to be called a real chef.
Truth?
You don't need to study in college to become a great chef.
Truth?
If you want to become a top chef, you must leave India and go abroad.
Myth?
You must work 12 to 14 hours a day to be successful in the industry.
Truth?
If a chef gets a recipe wrong, they just call it a fusion cuisine.
Truth?
Does chefs a so-called secret recipe? Does the chefs have a so-called secret recipe?
Yes, they everybody's have a secret recipe.
And then chef, this is one of the most important that we had in our mind. Chefs spend all day surrounded by the best food, but at the end of the day, they just eat something like simple like Maggies, sandwiches and all. It's a myth and truth.
It's a truth.
So chef, this is the segment called Pass the Apron.
Pass the apron.
Apron. So if you could pass your apron to the one student you have taught, those were someone who really truly deserved it. So whom would it be and why?
Nobody still yet not. I didn't find anyone who is actually deserved her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And chef, if you could leave behind just one sentence, a message, a life lesson or a guideline or any advice, what would it be?
बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन पूछा है तो.
So chef, if you could leave behind just one sentence, one life advice or one life lesson or a message for someone who's student starting out in this industry, what would it be?
Stay strong. Follow your passion, which is very tough. Believe in the dreams what you had when you started or when you stepped in the first day of your college, and make sure that particular dream is fulfilled, which will only come with your sacrifice.
So if, what was the funniest thing you have done in your college time?
Funniest thing?
Funniest thing.
पूरा भगोना उल्टा करके एकदम पूरा बैंड मार रहा था. प्रिंसिपल सर ने वीडियो देख लिया दूसरा मेरा जूनियर का फोन में से, तो फिर मेरे को बैंड ही डालना पड़ा एक दिन पूरा कॉलेज में.
And chef, if you can share what are your future plans?
My future plan?
Yes.
मेरा future plans क्या को चल.
Thank you, chef, for being here with us in this podcast.
You're welcome.
And this podcast very inspiring for us all. So we'll see you in the next Regent Table Talk. Stay tuned. Thank you.